Hello and welcome to Loquitur Gaming. This is going to be a big one. So this is Aeon Trespass Odyssey. And I'm going to be playing through the Learn to Play tutorial battle. And then in a separate video, I'm going to do the tutorial campaign portion. I have read through the Learn to Play tutorial battle. I have not played it yet. So this is going to be kind of like some other videos I've done in the past, where when I'm learning a game or where there's a tutorial or something, this is a video of my experience of learning to play through the method that was provided by the game publisher. So that's what I'm going to be doing. There's going to be quite a bit of reading at first because we're going to read through, not word for word. I'm not going to read it word for word because I've already read it and I think I know the highlight parts of it. But there is going to be lots of stuff to read, lots of stuff to show through the scripted part. And I am going to do the scripted parts. They have a scripted first attack by the Primordial. And I think it's a scripted, if I remember correctly, a scripted first attack by one of our Titans also. Then after that, the game is open to just finish the fight with the Hecaton here. So, I think we're just going to get started. I don't know how long this is going to take, hopefully not too long. So I think we'll just get started with the story. And I will point out what I have here on the board. This is a big game, and you do have to play with the 4 characters, even when you're playing solo. It's kind of like Kingdom Death Monster in that way. There's going to be a lot of similarities between this and Kingdom Death Monster, and I will try to avoid continuously pointing those out. People who've played both games can see them for themselves. So let's start with a little bit of story. It says, "Arise. For a long while there was nothing, then excruciating pain. You awakened to the cold embrace of the old priest's wiry hands, his wrinkled face an unsung epic unto itself, his tired but fiery eyes telling you that an epic is not quite finished. No, that epic is not quite finished. Awaken, dreamer, there is need. You're rushed through the half-lit corridors, sandals clanging on the metal floor, hurried shouts cheering you on. You enter a giant round room the priest called the Union Belanion, and there are a lot of like ancient Greek words in here that I'm going to get wrong, and names and stuff. I'm going to pronounce them wrong. Green liquid pours from bronze pipes and into a large pool in the middle. Long, thick roots hang from the ceiling, each tipped with a metallic spike. Is there a tree, you wonder, absent-mindedly? The old priest does not waste time. Hecaton comes. It crawled onto the ship when we entered the shallows. We are the flame it wants to extinguish. Let it not. Dive in the pool, O Argonaut, and dream the dream of power. Though you have many questions, you recognize the immediacy of the old man's plea. You submerge into the emerald waters. The liquid is warm and soothing. Suddenly, you feel elated and terrified. As another consciousness makes its presence known, you start to lose your sense of self. You feel that other more palpably now, simple and unrefined, raw and primal, tremendous power of a Titan. How do I control it? Learn through struggle. The last words of the priest are drowned by the mighty bellowing roar of the Hecaton. So it gives a little bit of intro stuff and it talks about the characters here. So you play as Argonauts and Titans. So Argonauts are going to be only portrayed by these like little portrait cards. And they each have a little skill on the bottom of them. So like Penelope here has a will of 1. And that would go on her Argonaut sheet, which I have not actually filled out yet. But then these Argonauts, I guess they go into this green liquid pool and they control Titans, which are these huge, big giants. But they're not quite as big as what are called Primordials, which are the bad guys. So the Titans have their own Titan sheets. And this is Herodotus. So that's this one here. They all have the same, these 4 starting Titans have the same starting stats and same ability. So that one red die will come into play during combat. His movement is 5. And I don't know if we're going to get to use that ability during the fight. If we do, I'll look at it again. Because I don't remember it talking about like how to use these symbols in the tutorial stuff. These charts down here come into play with what kind of trauma cards you will draw and what you get to do depending upon what your rage level is. Yeah, your rage level. And each Titan has one of these things called a Triskelion, which keeps track of their danger, their fate, and their rage. And we will see through the tutorial what those things are. It also talks about the Argo sheet. So the Argo is a ship that we're all on, which is supposedly supposed to be super huge. And it's like its own big city inside of a ship. And it will eventually be represented by this miniature in the campaign portion of the game. So we have an Argo sheet that keeps track of a bunch of stuff for the ship. It's going to be the campaign timeline, stuff that happens in the story, our resources, its damage, and all that kind of stuff. So that's off to the side for now. I don't know if we're going to need that or not. Probably not during the battle, we won't. Okay, so the first thing in the tutorial is the setup. So let's just look at what I've got out here on the board that you can actually see. So each different primordial, the bad guys, has an AI deck. And these are the level 1 AI cards, and a body part deck has a BP. These are the level 1. And then I have the level 2s and 3s off to the side for body part and AI. There's the dice. There are some tokens that I'll go over here. Up off of the screen that you can't see, there's a blue deck called Moiros, and there's a gray deck called Kratos. I don't remember reading about those in the tutorial. There are 4 trauma decks up here. Minor, Major, Grave, and one called Obel. And then there's a huge stack of condition cards. It only talked about one of these in the tutorial, Knockdown. So if we get knocked down, I think we'll see that card. So in the setup for this tutorial battle, it has you take some cards out of these trauma decks. There are specific ones that are for Cycle 2 and Cycle 3 only that you have to take out, but then there are also some cards that it says to take out for this battle. I don't know if they're too punishing for the tutorial or there's more rules in them than they want to put in the tutorial, but just note that if you're going to do this, you got to take some certain cards out of there. Also note with the Obel deck, I was confused during setup because I didn't read anywhere in there where it said to take cards out of that, but then later on it says there's only supposed to be 2 cards in there. So just watch out and look for that. Look through the Obel deck because the other cards that are not supposed to be in there have written on them when they come in, under what circumstances they come in. Down over here we have our primordial that we're facing. And the primordials also have a card that's called their routine card and their signature card. We will look at those a little later. But the setup has you put those, and there's a space on the board here for the primordial. We'll look at the primordial stats when they come up. So the setup also has, it shows you where the 4 Titans are supposed to go, and then also there's a bunch of these column terrain tiles on the map. It says put all of those out. And you have to get the card that tells you what a column does. Just to get familiar with some keywords: obstacle, obscuring, and destructible. So that means it can block line of sight. And then there's some wording there that if you push the primordial onto it, you gotta do some stuff. I don't know what any of that stuff means because I didn't really read any of that stuff in the tutorial. So let's see what else it says. Oh yeah, so you're supposed to get a fist card. We will look at that when we learn about attacks. You get a portrait card, an Argonaut sheet, your Triskelion. Set it to 3 zeros. Normally, oh yeah, so there's who's supposed to get the priority target token. So normally whoever has the most rage at any given moment has the priority target token, which is this token here. But the Kickstarter also came with this crazy huge statue looking thing to use as the priority target marker. It's pretty big. I don't know if it's going to get in the way or not. I thought I read somewhere to assign the priority target to somebody at the start. But we do have to draw the top card from the minor trauma deck, and then the arrow at the bottom left corner will show the direction that the primordial will be facing. So that's like the last setup instruction. Oh, I can assign it to one randomly. That's what I'm supposed to do with the priority target token. So I have 2 of my characters here, and I have 2 like off to the side over here just because it's so much space being taken up. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and re-roll 9s and 10s. That's a 9. That's a 10. 2. So Ulyssia will be our priority target. Okay, so it says to draw, and we'll shuffle this. This is the minor trauma deck. I have some sleeves on the way to fit these cards. Right now they're not sleeved, but with the amount of shuffling that some of these cards get, I need some sleeves for that stuff. So we're supposed to look at this arrow down here, I guess. And so the primordial will be facing this way at the start of the battle. And I'll create a discard there. So Ulyssia, who got our priority target, is here. So that's Ulyssia. Then we have Herodotus. So there were more than 4 of these Argonaut portrait cards, so I picked the 4 that they had in the picture of the tutorial because I didn't really see where it said to just either pick what you want or pick these certain ones. But so there's a little bit more story, only a couple sentences. The Hecaton has broken through Argos' outer defenses. In its wake lies a serpentine path of broken shields and dreams. The Hecaton's monstrous roars merge with the blaring of sirens and screech of bent metal, resulting in a cacophonic dirge? I don't know. It's getting closer. Many brave warriors gave their lives to lead it to the control column garden, to you. You feel the Titan's heartbeat quicken. Its chiseled body becomes soaked with sweat. Can this awesome being of raw power even feel fear? Or is it all you? Giant muscles flex, and the Titan crouches, ready to pounce. The Hecaton comes. So it's going to talk about movement, distance, and speed. So movement is cardinal directions, no diagonal. We looked at the 5 speed on our Titans. So then it's going to go right into the primordial round. So the rounds of the game are the monster goes, or the primordial goes, and then the Titans go. And then it goes back to primordial, Titans, primordial, Titans. All the Titans get to go. So it's saying they all are represented by a large sheet. The Hecaton gets to act first. Normally you would draw the top AI card from the AI deck, but this is going to be a little bit scripted here at the very beginning. It talks about the evolution track on the Argo sheet. So there's something you're supposed to mark on the Argo sheet, which is, I guess, how the monsters during the campaign are going to get more difficult. So we're supposed to mark off that right now we're fighting a Hecaton level 0. And then I think that means for the next fight we have to pick one of these level 1s, and then so on down the line. But it wants us to look at the Hecatons sheet real quick. So let's go over a couple of things on here. So we're fighting a level 0. It has 6 movement, 6 health. It has a trait, Friendly Warning. So Friendly Warning says -2 to all knockbacks performed by the Hecaton. It also has -1. That's like the 2 wound number, and we'll see that little symbol. It's called the Aeon Trespass number. It's like their shield. And you have to get a 7 or higher to actually hit this thing. I don't know what this stuff down here is yet. I don't think it has had any significance in the tutorial because I don't remember reading about it. The Primordial also has what's called a routine. So if there's no available target for the Hecaton to go after based on what's on the AI card, it will do its routine. So the Hecaton's routine is Idle Hands. The Argo loses 1 hull. And it's going to tell us about that. It's going to say, like, the Hecaton gets bored and starts throwing stones, throwing boulders at your ship. And then there's a move called the Signature Move. I guess some cards might tell us to do the Signature Move. If the Signature Move comes up, we will look at that card. Okay, so it wants us to draw, for the scripted part, from the AI deck, a card called Cold Open. And take a look at it. So we will go, no, it's right on the bottom. And then let's just shuffle these level 1s. All right, so it's going to say each primordial attack starts with determining its target. So that's that target part at the top of the card. Take a closer look at the first command line. It instructs you to perform an attack against the closest Titan in front in range. So that's that top target line, closest Titan in front in range. And there's a big box that teaches you here about line of sight. So basically, if a piece of terrain is obscuring, it means it can block line of sight. If you go along the edge or over blocking terrain, then line of sight is blocked. There's a little instruction box here about different meanings of these target lines on these cards. There's no reason to go in depth into that. Cold Open is a regular attack, so the Primordial must be adjacent to a Titan to perform it. And then we saw on the sheet that it has a movement value of 6. But it's saying that our Hecaton is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because the front is going to be drawn with a line across our Hecaton here, and in front. And in range means that the Titan has to be within its movement, within the enemy's movement range. So we are, since we have 2 that are equal distance, then we check to see if one of them has the priority target token. And she here, Ulysses, has the priority target token. So the Hecaton's going to go after her. If there was no priority target token over here and they were both available targets, I think it says we get to pick. So we've got the target. So then we go down to the next like bolded line on the card where it says move and attack. And then there's another little orange box there that has the fate symbol. If we had 3 or more fate on our character, then the Hecaton would get 1 more die. And then each hit deals 1 danger. Danger is kind of like health, I'm assuming. So the first thing it's going to do is move and attack. So moving, the Primordials move in a zigzag pattern. He wouldn't, let me move the card. he wouldn't go like all the way over and then down like that if he was going down there. They go like step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, like that. So they zigzag the steps to get there. And then attack. So this game is a little bit different. They assume that like targets this big and monsters like this are just gonna kind of hit. So you don't really roll for the monster to hit you. You roll to evade the attack. And that is on the card up here. So it's going to tell us that we're going to roll the number of d10s equal to the evasion dice on the AI card. So that's that 4. And again, if we had 3 or more fate, that number would be a 5. When you roll the dice, you're always going to roll 1 white die in the mix. That's called a critical die. And that will, if that rolls a 10, then there's a chance for either a critical miss or a critical evade or a critical hit, depending upon what you're rolling for. If you don't like the roll, you can use fate. You can gain fate, 1 fate point for every die you want to re-roll. And if we got hit, then we would have to do the consequences that are on the card. Here it says each hit deals 1 danger. So like I said, we're going to follow the script, and there's not very much scripting. There's like this first attack is scripted. The first Titan attack is scripted, if I remember correctly. And then it's like open gaming from there. So we will be doing the rolling there. So let's go to the scripted part. Let's rig the game a little bit. Assume that it dealt 1 danger. So no matter what the roll would have been, we're going to assume that we evaded everything but 1, and we got one hit against us. So we spin our danger up to 1. So if you take, so this is the important part. Consult your Titan's trauma table and draw a trauma card of the severity corresponding to your danger value. Because if you take, whenever you are dealt danger as an attack effect, you must draw a trauma card. And later somewhere it says that it's important to remember that it's not every single time you take danger in any consequence, because sometimes you might take danger when it's not from an attack. If it's from an attack, that's when you have to draw a trauma card. If your danger goes up due to being attacked, you have to draw a trauma card. So it's going to script it a little bit more here. So this is where we would look at, and we'll just take a different Titan real quick. We look at this chart here. If our current danger is 1 through 3, this is the symbol for a minor trauma from the minor trauma deck. Then it's major trauma, grave trauma, and then what's called an obol card. So we're in 1 through 3, so we would draw from the minor trauma deck. But it's going to be scripted, so it's going to say, let's rig the game again. Instead of drawing the top trauma card, find and resolve Kratos' Whisper minor trauma. Oh, another one on the bottom. Okay, so Kratos' Whisper says to gain 1 rage. Yes, so resolve the card now by raising your rage value on the Triskelion. That's a great outcome. Raising rage makes you more powerful. However, whenever you raise rage and you compare it to the rage level of the Titan with the priority target token. Yeah, so if she already has a priority target token, so we don't have to worry about moving the priority target token. So this card's going to raise her rage by 1. And I think if you go above 9 rage, you die. if there are any other attack effects, so now we go back to this card. So that was just us getting hit, taking danger, getting a trauma card because we took danger. Now you have to go to the after attack. It says pushback 3. And the important thing that it notes here in the tutorial is that the after attack stuff is separate from that move and attack. And I think you denote that by the fact that it's like a bolded line. So it points out that no matter what happened in the attack, the move and attack part, even if it all missed and there was no hit or anything, you still do the after attack. It's like a separate part of the card. And it says pushback 3. There's a little part in the tutorial book here that teaches you about pushback. So pushback is basically the Titan is being moved and the Primordial is kind of chasing. So it would be 1, 2, 3. Primordial goes 1, 2, 3. If you had been pushed back into some terrain or into another Titan, then there would have been some effects that happened. The column could have been destroyed if the Titan walked on it. You could have taken more danger. Could have been knocked down from crashing into stuff. And that's basically the end of the card. So on the primordial turn, you draw an AI card and you basically execute it from top to bottom. Then it goes to the Titan round. Okay, the Titans. Titans get a move action and what do they call it? A combat action. You can do them in any order. And it wants us in the script here for the tutorial to move the one that's 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because our Titans have 5 movements. We saw that earlier on their sheets. So we're going to do her movement action first. We'll move to there. And then we're going to perform an attack. So I do have another Titan card off to the side. This is a more advanced Titan from later in the game. But on the back of these, there's like the sequences for the game, which are kind of helpful. So now we're going to do our combat action. And I want us to perform our first attack. So first you declare your active weapon. So all of our Titans have very basic, it's not really gear, it's their fists, but these are kind of like gear cards. So this is what they have, fists. And I'm guessing that it's two-handed because of that up there. There's 2 dice, it's +0, and there's a red die symbol there. So what this means is when we attack, we get to roll 2 dice. This has no bonus it adds, and if we hit with our die, then we get 1 red die for every hit. And there's an ability down here that says we can use it as a one-handed weapon, I guess, but then we have to -1 die up here. And I think this symbol is gear card. I think that's what that means. So you have to pick what weapon you're using is the first thing it says. You can only attack with 1 of them. Okay, so the first thing, you raise your rage and then check to see if that gives you the priority target. So this is Philoctera. So we will raise her rage by 1. So she's now at 1 rage. Ulysses still at 1 rage. So we're not going to change the priority target token to her because that did not make it more than her. They're even at 1 and 1, and the other 2 are still at 0. Then we check the attack die. We saw that that's to get to roll 2. And remember, we always have to have 1 critical die in our roll. And then we have to see what we need to hit. That was that 7 or 7+ on the Hecaton sheet at level 0 that we saw earlier. So we would have to roll better than a 7 for this level 0 guy here. And let's see what else the script is telling us. We're almost to the end of the scripted part. We don't get a bonus. We could re-roll using fate if we wanted to. It gives you some information about moving. So a natural roll of a 10 is always a hit, and a natural roll of a 1 is always a miss. So here's the scripted part. It wants to say, let's pretend you rolled a 7 and a 9. So both of those are higher than the 7+. So that's going to be 2 hits. So then when you hit the primordial, you get a chance to use some of your abilities. We don't have any abilities to use. Then when you hit, you would normally draw the top card of this body parts deck. But it's going to say search it for Right Mighty Fist. I was looking at these earlier when I was reading. I must have put them all on the bottom of these decks because that's like the third deck that the scripted card was right on the bottom. All right, we're almost done with the scripted part, like I said just a second ago. So let's take a look at the anatomy of one of these body part cards. So this is telling us it's a level 1 body part card because these, the primordial cards, there's level 1, 2, and 3, and they come into play here in a little bit. For right now, this is the important part. This is that Aeon Trespass number. That's kind of like the number of like wounds that we need to roll to hit it. So normally it would be a 3, but I don't know if you remember way back when we looked at the Hecaton sheet, a level 0 Hecaton is -1 to that number. So right now we're looking at a 2 there. And then there's some stuff at the bottom. If we had rolled a critical, so a 0 on our white critical die, or not a 0, a 10, the critical would come into play, and you would ignore all the other effects up above. But we didn't, so we're not going to worry about the critical part. So that's the card it wants us to concentrate on. What's number 4? Oh, those are the resources, yeah. So to successfully wound, you have to generate power that equals or exceeds that Aeon Trespass number. So right now it's a 2 because of the -1. So how do you do that? Well, if you remember on our fists card, it had a red die. So for every hit, we've got 2 hits here. We get a red die to roll. So these are our power dice, they're called. In addition to that, our Titan sheet has a red die right here. So anytime we're rolling our power dice, we get to add whatever's on our Titan sheet. So our Titan sheet has 1 red die there. All of these 4 Titans are the same. So we get to add another red die to our power dice pool. Yeah, so we're in the power roll part. We're creating the power pool. And here this is continuing with the script. Let's say it's saying, let's say you rolled this, this, and this. So we're going to lose our close-up on the card, I think, here, but let's see if I can get closer on those dice. I'll move them over here. What you're looking for are these kind of like what look like slashes or like damage or cuts or whatever. So there's 1, 2, 3 of those. Those are what you're looking for. So we got 3 of those, and the 3 is more than the 2 that we needed. That was our target number based on that card. So we wounded it. Okay, so then what happens? The body part card that you hit, there's a spot on the board here that's called the wound stack. You would put that body part card in the wound stack. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get 6 cards in this wound stack because if you remember, our Hecaton here, this level 0 Hecaton has 6 health. And I remember it saying in the tutorial that this Hecaton must have already been damaged because it's a little bit weaker than a normal Hecaton. Yeah, the Hecaton you're facing seems to have been previously wounded, so you must only score 6 wounds to defeat it. You've got 5 left to go. If you had rolled less than the total power required, you would instead just put the BP card into the discard area. So there's a discard area right here where the card would go if we had not rolled enough damage here of these little slashes. We'll talk about this one in a second, I think. We also... You might be able to re-roll some of these. You cannot use Fate to re-roll these. So you can use Fate when you're being attacked for... Basically, you can use Fate to re-roll these dice during battles, but not these dice. There's other ways to re-roll these dice. What else is it telling us in the tutorial here? Danger gained from a response is not an attack, so don't draw a trauma. We talked about that already. Now we have to do the escalation phase. Okay, so the escalation phase. What that means is, since we removed a level 1 card from the BP deck, we're going to put a more powerful card now into this deck. Because as the monster, or as your enemy, as the primordial gets wounded, it gets stronger. So it says you've wounded a BP1 card, so you should shuffle a random BP2 card into the deck. So we have to go to our decks off to the side here and find our level 2s. I'm going to shuffle these now, and then when we escalate in the future, I'll just draw the top one off, what's off to the side. So we're shuffling these level 2 body part cards. Take a random one, and then we're going to shuffle that into this body part deck and not look. Hopefully it doesn't end up on top. And we'll stop there. Oh my god, it's on top. Okay, so then after you escalate the body part deck, then you're going to escalate the AI deck. So you take the first... Let's see what it says exactly. When you're done escalating that deck, go to the AI deck. Take the first card you find that matches the level of the wounded BP card. So this was a level 1. So right on top here, we've got a level 1. Let's just make sure. I don't remember if I shuffled this when I looked through it for the scripted card. So we're going to take the first level 1 card. It goes out of the game. And we're going to get a level 2 AI card. So he's getting some stronger moves put in his deck as well. So like stronger moves against us in the AI deck and stronger areas to hit, I think, in the body part deck. So now those level 2s are shuffled. We'll just pull from the top. Next time we have to escalate to a level 2. And let's hope that we don't put a level 2 on top here. Stop. Okay, it's a level 1. Good. So that's the escalation phase. Then you would clear the Kratos pool, which is a thing over here that we'll talk about now. Which I think is what because it's the last phase of the attack for everybody's attack. Yeah, so it's the second ability window. In the second ability window, you can add tokens to the Kratos pool. And the way you do that is, once again, we look back to our card, and here, based on the amount of rage that we have. So rage is good because it helps you get more of this stuff, but it's bad because if you get 9 or more, I think, you die. I'm pretty sure it's 9 or more. Right now, our character has only 1 rage because she's attacked once. So these 2 symbols here mean that we can either add, what are they called? A break or an opening token to the Kratos pool. So what that basically does is it adds tokens over here that the next person who attacks gets benefit from, gets bonuses from. And what they basically are is either a +1 to your 2 hit dice, or the opening tokens, or these break ones turn this triangle symbol on these red dice, this little triangle, one of these will turn one of these into one of these damage lines, basically. So this is where you have to make a decision, because I can only choose to put, at this level for these characters, at 1 rage, I can only choose to put one or the other of these into the Kratos pool. So do I want to make it easier for the next person to hit, or easier for the next person to wound? Since we have a level 2 BP card on top here, I want to try to help them wound. So into the active pool, I'm going to put an opening token, no, a break token. And I think that's it for the scripting. It tells us about knockdown and knockback, which we will look at if that comes up. And this Kratos pool gets cleared after every attack. It's not like they can just hang out there if we don't use them. No, it gets cleared and rebuilt based on whoever just attacks current rage. Some additional battle rules. It talks about the signature, if that ever comes up. Maybe some modifier tokens. I haven't read anything about those. Bonus attacks, follow-up attacks, and chain breaks. It says to read more in the rules about those. Don't forget about the terrain tiles that are out there that they could be blocking. And then the battle aftermath. So that'll be when we're done. That was a lot of talking and a lot of information for 40 minutes. The script is over. Now we're going to keep going. Oh, it also gives a suggestion that once a Titan attacks, you should turn their little portrait card like 90 degrees so you know that character has gone. So only one of our Titans has gone. We've got 3 more to go. This one here obviously cannot make it. But who knows? There could be a reaction on a card that might make the Hecaton like move for that character to get closer. So let's attack with Herodotus here. So just to give you a little idea of the scale that they're trying to go for, the shield here for Herodotus, that's like part of a ship, part of a boat. So he's using part of a large ship as a shield. So we will move 1, 2, 3, 4 to get adjacent because we only have punching fists right now. And we're going to attack. So let's go through the sequence. Declare the attack and the active weapon. So we're going to use Herodotus's fists. Raise your rage. So he's going to 1 rage. Check for priority target. It's still 1. It's still a tie. Do our attack roll. So we know our fists are 2 dice, and we need to get a 7+. Now, if we had an opening token, if we had 1 opening token in the Kratos pool, we would get to add 1 to these, to all of the dice that we roll, but we don't have any bonuses right now. Plus our fists are +0, so this is just going to be a straight up roll. So we got a 6 and a 10. Now we could use Fate to try to re-roll this 6 because we need 7 or higher. I think we will because we're going up against a body part 2, and I'm almost positive when I looked at these cards just briefly, like flipping through them when I was putting them in the sleeves, that the body part 2s have a higher, they might have a higher trespass number, like a higher shield number that we have to get through to wound. However, a 7+, 7, 8, 9, 10 is only 40% chance that we're going to roll that with 1 die. But let's just do it. So let's show off this part of the game. So we will take our Fate up to 1. You have to increase Fate 1 for every die that you re-roll. So we're going to re-roll this one. And we got a 3. So we're still going to miss. So this one is a miss. We get 1 die for this hit, and we get another red die because of our just bonus that we get every time. We're not rolling those yet. We draw a BP card first, so let's see what we got here. Oh, geez. Yeah, we're not hitting this thing. It's a 6. This is that level 0 guy, so he gets -1 to this, so it's a 5. We're not going to get 5. I don't think it's possible, even with our token over here. But let's see what we get. So we got 1 slash with a triangle and a triangle. We have 1 of these, so 1 of those triangles would turn into us. So we ended up getting 2. That's not enough. We don't have anything to re-roll these right now, so we have to look back at this card. And it says, if we fail, we're going to gain danger equal to the primordial level. Well, luckily this is a primordial level of 0, so we're not going to gain any danger. And I believe this is a scenario where this is danger from a response that would not cause us to draw a trauma card. This is not us getting attacked, it's a primordial response. So this is just going to go into... Oh, this is cool though. If we could have critted on it. Gain the Shield Blade Gear card from Secret Deck 2, card 10. And then move the adversary, whatever that means. I have not learned what that means yet. All right, so that is Penelope inside the Herodotus's turn. I guess we will go with Ulysses. She doesn't need to move, she can attack. That's going to increase her rage to 2. So she's probably going to stay the priority target. I feel like we should move her though, because I think if you hit the edge of the board, you might have to suffer crash. I don't want to look that up right now. So we might move her after she attacks. Who knows, there could be a response. So, okay, so she's upped her rage. She's still a priority target. Oh wait, I did not finish the other attack. I had a feeling I was going to forget this. We had to clear the Kratos pool. We didn't wound. We didn't have to escalate because we didn't wound. We have to clear the Kratos pool, and then we get to rebuild it based on the character that had attacked. That character has 1 rage. This is a BP 1. Let's see what happens if we put an opening token. So this is the +1 to this roll here. Okay, so that finishes the previous attack. Now we're on to her turn. It's increased. We've increased the rage. Now let's roll. Okay, we got 2 7s, which actually are 2 8s because we have this opening token. And you only need a 7+. So that's going to give us those, and we get 1 of those for our Titan. We draw a BP card. Oh, this one's easy. On this level 0 Hecaton, this would only be a 1. And we did not crit, and I hope we're not going to fail. So, oh, there is an interesting thing to look at here too, though. So we got 3 dice. Well, we rolled a blank, 1 slash, and a triangle. So what I was going to say is that Ulysses is at 2 rage, and at 2 rage, on her little rage chart over here, oh, we have to go back out. At 2 rage, she gets 1 red die reroll. Plus, so on this chart, you get your level and everything above it. So she's going to get that 1 red die reroll, and she's going to get to put 1 of these things into the Kratos pool. Fortunately, we don't need the red die reroll, but just want to show you that this is a way you can get a red die reroll. Okay, so she wounded this. There is no reaction to do on here. It goes into here. Now we have to escalate. So we take the first, nope, that's the BP deck. We don't do that. We just take a level 2 from over there, a random level 2. And don't look. So I've wounded it twice. We need to do 4 more wounds. And stop. Okay, so level 1, good. Then we take the first level 1, because this was a level 1 that we wounded, off of the AI deck. And we take a random level 2, shuffle that in. So now there's 2 level 2 AI cards in here. And oh bummer, now there's level 2 on top. So we've done the escalation, now we clear the Kratos pool and we rebuild it. We're facing a level 1 next, so let's do the same thing and try to hit it. So let's get an opening token to give us a bonus to our trying to hit roll. Okay, that is Ulysses gone. And now there's just this character. Oh wait, she hasn't moved yet. I'm afraid she's going to get attacked because she's in the front. I don't know if it prioritizes always in the front. I don't know that. But I would just rather we get her somewhere else. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now there's nobody in front. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. This character is not close enough to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we don't have any ranged attacks. So when our Titans are done, it says to move your cards back from 90 degrees. I might end up using tokens or something instead of doing the whole tapping it 90 degrees thing. So our Titans are done. We go back to the Primordial. So the Primordial will now draw the top AI card, and it is a level 2. Chain Fist. Target. Priority target in range. So it doesn't matter where it is. She's going to be the target. Move and attack. If your fate is 3 or more, +1 die. She has 0 fate so far. Each hit deals 1 damage. After attack, if danger was dealt, repeat Chain Fist once. Oh boy. So she could get hit twice here. That's kind of a bummer. He does not need to zigzag. He can just move like this. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we need to try to get him to move back this way for this character to get some attacks in. Move and attack. Okay, so now we are actually going to see a roll, because we did not see a roll last time. 2 dice, and we need to roll a 9 to evade. 9 plus to evade. We don't have any gear or any abilities or anything that let us get better at this. We got an 8 and a 6. So we would be taking 2 hits right now. This is such a low percentage chance of evading it. I don't know if I want to use Fate. I think I just want to try to power through because this guy doesn't have very much health. So I think I will just take that danger. So danger goes up to 3, but then we have to draw. We're still on minor traumas, so we gotta draw a minor trauma card. Glimpse the weak spot. So this is a good trauma card. Look at the top card of the BP deck. You may put it back on the top of the BP deck or onto the discard pile. Okay, so minor traumas can be okay. Let's glimpse at it. It's a 4. It is a 4. The next card is also a level 1. So it would become a 3. If we fail, we would gain a fate and get knocked down. Well, what does this say? If we crit until the end of the battle when attacked from a rear space, the Hecaton has -1, an additional -1 Aeon Trespass. I think I'm going to discard this one because the next one is also a level 1. 3, let's see. Nah, we'll leave it on top. We'll leave it on top. Okay, Chain Fist says that if danger was dealt, we have to repeat Chain Fist once. So it's still 2 dice, 9 plus to evade. Ooh, we got a 10 and a 5. So we evaded 1. I don't want to go to 4 danger if I don't have to. Let's spend 1 fate to re-roll and see if we can get lucky. Nope. Okay, so we're at 4 danger, which means we have to draw a major trauma card. I should shuffle these. Can we do 4 damage, please? Inner Strength. Well, this is a good card too. Lose 1 danger and stand up. You may immediately perform a bonus attack. We don't need to stand up. So lose 1 danger. So back down to 3. And we get to perform a bonus attack. So let's just double check in the rules what bonus attack. Bonus attacks. So, I mean, this is part of learning the game, right? Is you come across something that you haven't seen before, and you gotta look it up. Page 56. Casualties. End of battle. Bonus attack allows you to perform an immediate attack, often outside of your turn. Most bonus attacks cause a chain break. See below. For a bonus attack, you can declare an exhausted weapon as your active weapon. If you do unexhausted, I don't know what that means. I don't remember learning about exhausted weapons. During a bonus attack, you may ignore attack responses to this attack. When the attack ends, continue resolving the battle round that was interrupted by the bonus attack. All of the restrictions and rules of a combat action apply. Wow, during a bonus attack, you may ignore attack responses. See page 51. Unless stated otherwise, a response should be resolved regardless of the Titan's positioning. So we just ignore. Wow, that's cool. That's probably something that gets missed a lot because it's just one sentence in the middle of this paragraph. During a bonus attack, you may ignore attack responses. So that should be like the fail and the wound parts of... And it says may, which could be important. Because if it's a good response, maybe you want it, especially like the critical thing. All right, so we get to do an attack. We got our fists. That does increase our rage. So she's going to 3 rage. Doesn't say we get to move, it's just an attack. And I think that's going to be the end of Chain Fist. So let's just get that out of the way. We have 1 opening token, so we get to add 1. We got a 9 and a 5. So that's a 9 and a 6, basically. We need 7s. Do I want to take a fate to re-roll? I really want to damage, and I need these dice. So we're going to take fate up and re-roll this one. Yes, so with this becomes a 7, and that's what we needed. So we got a 9 and a 6. That gets us 2 red dice, and we get our 1 red die that we always get. We draw a body part card. We've seen this body part card already. So we're looking for 3 damage symbols here. Holy cow, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5. 5. Where was the 5 when this card was here? But that's how it goes, I guess, right? Okay, so we don't even need to use her rage to reroll that or anything. We did not fail, which is good. We did not crit either, though. Okay, so this goes to the wound stack, so that's the 3rd wound out of 6. And we have to escalate. That was a level 1, so we got a level 2 body part card. So this body part deck is always going to have the same number of cards in it because you're always escalating. Some of the cards might currently be in the discard pile. But so there's always going to be 6 like active cards. And I guess same for the AI deck too, right? Shouldn't be looking at it. Okay, it's level 1. So now here's a situation where we have to find the first card that's the same level as the card we wounded. So we wounded a level 1 body part card. The top AI card is a level 2. So this is the first level 1 that we come across. It goes out. We get another level 2, but then we shuffle. So maybe we're going to end up with one of the few remaining level 1 AI cards on top. But who knows, we could continue to wound and then that's just going to change this deck again because it's going to get shuffled after it gets escalated and so on and so on. Ah, we did end up with level 1. Okay, so that was our bonus attack and that happened on the Primordial's turn. That was cool. We're not done yet though. I always forget about this Kratos pool and it actually does make a difference here. So we clear the Kratos pool after we do the escalation. And now it's what they call the second ability window. In the second ability window is when we can build the Kratos pool. She has 3 rage now. So that means, this is not her card, but again, they're all the same. At level 3, we get a token, and at level 1, we get a token. So now we have a choice between putting 2 different tokens in there. There's a level 1 body part card on top. I think we'll be fine getting through the shield, the Aeon Trespass, on a level 1. So let's put 2 opening tokens. Let's just try to hit it. So I think we're good on damaging it. So let's just try to hit it. All right, so now it's our turn. Because again, that was during the Hecaton's turn when that bonus attack happened. I don't want her to go yet because I don't want to increase her rage, and I want to try to pull this guy this way to get this guy in range. We only got to do 3 more damage here. So let's have Herodotus, the Titan Herodotus, move forward, piloted by our Argonaut Penelope. So she has moved. She's going to attack. It's really weird because like the Titan looks like a male Titan, but I have a female like piloting it. Up here I have a female Titan with a male piloting it. This one's female, female, and this one's male, male. So it's I've been saying her for this Titan, but should I be using the Argonaut? I don't know. I guess I'll use they if I can remember. Anyways, we have raised our rage. Now we're going to roll our dice. We don't have to worry about the priority target token because Ulysses, the Titan Ulysses, has got 3 rage and is currently a priority target. So we've got 2 opening tokens here, so we're going to get a +2. So this one actually is a hit because that makes it 7. We do not want this critical miss. Now it says in the book for critical misses that there could be things on cards that say that a critical miss is important, and it's not a critical miss because it's a 1. It's a critical miss because it's a 1 on the white critical die. 1s are just normally always a miss, but since this is on the critical die, it becomes important. This could be dumb, but I'm going to go up to 3 fate. I don't know if it's dumb or not to re-roll this. Okay, we got a 7. So both of those are hits. So we get our 2 dice for those hits and then our 1 regular die. And first we got to draw a body part card. So this is the left mighty fist. So this becomes a 2 because this is a level 0. If we wound it, push back 1, gain a danger, and then knock back 5. We did not crit, so we don't have to worry about this. Gain 1 positive precision token, whatever that means. It did not. I think in the token part, it said, you know, like go read it in the rule book. Okay, so we only need 2 little wound marks here. Wow, and we ended up with exactly 2. Because of his rage is 2, we could have re-rolled 1, but we don't need to. It's because we hit it, we wounded it. So we have to do primordial responses first before we go through the wounding process. So the first one on here under wound is push back 1. So he's going to get pushed back. The Hecaton will turn and follow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that puts this guy in range now. That's cool. So that's push back 1. Then it says gain a danger. So Herodotus will gain a danger. I just can't wait until like we get some gear cards, and there's all kinds of you know, things that are interacting on the board and whatnot. And then knock back 5. However, I don't know if you can remember about an hour ago when we looked at the Hecaton sheet. The Hecaton has a trait here, friendly warning. Friendly warning says -2 to all knockbacks performed by the Hecaton. So this becomes knockback 3, so just 1, 2, 3. Knockback is different than pushback. Pushback, the primordial follows you. This is knockback, you just go on your own. If I'm not mistaken. So that's the response. Now we wound it. We add it to the wound stack and we escalate. That's a level 1. We got to put a level 2 in here. So what do we got in here? We've got a level 1. We've got 2 level 1s and 3 level 2s. Okay, we got a level 2 coming up next. And we have a level 2 in the discard pile. And we have to escalate the AI deck, so we take a level 1 out, add a level 2, shuffle. I would recommend sleeving this game just for the fact that there's so much shuffling of these primordial cards. Okay, we got to clear the Kratos pool, and now we can rebuild it as the last step. Herodotus has only 2 rage, so we don't get to put 1 token in. And I think we're going to put a break token because we're going up against a level 2. Might just have to resign ourselves right now with only 1 token in here to think that it might be really hard to hit anything above a level 1 at the moment. So I can already see that you're going to need these tokens in here and maybe some re-rolls of these red dice based on your rage level. So that's kind of a balance in the game, I guess, right? You gotta monitor your rage so that you don't die, but you need rage in order to help you do damage and stuff later on. All right, so Herodotus has gone. Let's go with Philoctera. Raise her rage. She's already adjacent, so she doesn't need to move. Maybe we'll move. Maybe we will move after we attack. So this one can come in. Okay, we raised the rage. We don't have to worry about priority target. And we're going to roll. So we're looking for 7s. 4 and a 2. Let's use 2 fate. She's at 0 fate at the moment. So she will go to 2 fate. We will reroll both of these. 7 and an 8, that's 2 hits. Okay, so that gets us 2 dice. And we get our 1 regular die. So that was a good use of fate there. So let's zoom in on this roll. She is at rage level 2, so she's going to get 1 red die reroll. Oh, we got to draw our BP card first. See what we're going up against. Knuckle Teeth. Okay, I think this is doable. Normally it would be a 5, but it's going to be a 4 because we're facing the level 0. If we fail, we're going to gain danger equal to the primordial level, which is 0. That's an interesting critical. Gain the priority target token. You may perform a bonus attack. All right, let's see what we get here. So we need 4 wound marks. So we got 2. Let's re-roll this one. We have 1 thing in our pool. So actually we're sitting at 3 right now because one of those triangles can get turned into a wound. Yeah, nope. So we failed. Bummer. That was doable. That was doable. Okay, so, but the fortunate thing here is that this is a level 0 primordial, so we're not going to gain any danger. Now let's kind of move out of the way. I'll just move 1 out of the way, and then Phylactera is done. So we clear this, and Phylactera can only add 1. She has rage 2, so she can only add 1 thing to the Kratos pool. So it's a level 1 card we're facing next, so let's add an opening token to try to hit. So now here is the strategy question, or where some thinking can come into the game. So we have Ulysses here sitting at 3 rage. If she goes and attacks now, that would put her at 4. She could then add 2 things to the pool. And if the Hecaton doesn't move away, it could help this guy on his attack. If he moves up here and attacks, that's going to be his first rage, so he's only going to get to add 1 thing to the Kratos pool. And we've done 4 as of now. Let's try to be smart, and we will do this. So she's going to go, she's going to do her movement and her attack. So her rage is now 4. And she will use her fists. It's 2 dice. There's 1 opening in the pool. That's an 8 and a 1. She's going to... No. It's a level 1 card. I think we're going to be okay with only 1 red die. She's at level 4, and at level 4 she gets 2 red die rerolls, so I'm not going to up her fate. So she's only going to get 1 red die from these, and then her normal red die. And that 1 is just an automatic miss for that die. Okay, we got to draw a BP card. Oh, I chose poorly. Because this is a 3. Oh, even if she wounds, she could get knocked down. That's interesting. Ooh, on a crit, gain 1 ancient shell resource. Let me perform a bonus attack. That would have been cool. Okay, let's see what we get here. only got 2 dice, and 3 on 2 dice. I mean, it's doable, but we don't have any tokens in our Kratos pool to help with little triangles. We have 2 rerolls, so let's keep this one. Let's reroll this one. That's another 1. I guess we reroll this one. We need the side that has 2 on it. That's basically like rolling a 6, right? There's only one side that has 2 wounds on it. And nope, that's not it. So now I'm wishing we had a break token in there. I can see the value of the break tokens now. Okay, so there's no fail condition, so we just miss. Or we did not wound. Ooh, my computer's updating something. We'll go to the last character now. So that was Ulysses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement. And this character finally gets into the action, gets his first rage. Oh, I did it again. We're not done. We got to rebuild the Kratos pool. We got a level 2 BP card here. So we're going to add 2 break tokens. Although actually connecting gives you another die too. Let's go 1 and 1. He can use fate to re-roll. Yeah, let's go 1 and 1. Having a die I think is good too. I don't know, we'll see. We're just learning the game, right? He's attacking with fists. That's a 3 and a 5. We're going to take 2 fate to reroll both of those. Three and a 1, we missed. And that would be a critical miss. All right, he gets in the action and does nothing. That is all 4 of the Titans. So now we need to face an AI card. And what does he add? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, we're still not done. Clear the Kratos pool. Rebuild it. Let's use a break. Okay, face an AI card. It is a level 1 AI card. Thunder Punch. Closest Titan in front in range. That's going to be here. Oh no, that's here. In front. So we have a line here, and everything on this side is in front. This Titan right here is only 2 spaces away. So it's going to move 1 and turn to face that character. Move and attack. If that character has 3 or more fate, it would get pushed back. Fortunately, she only has 3. I mean, 2. So we don't have to worry about that. And that stuff right there only happens if... I think the stuff only happens if I don't evade it. So this card's telling me 3 dice, and I need a 9+ to evade it. Oh, I evaded 1, but I like critically not evade, I think. That one. Each hit deals a danger and then knockdown. So Phylactera's gonna... Oh, I just dropped a Triskelion. These things feel a little loose to me, which could be dangerous, like what just happened when I dropped it. The rage went from 2 to 7. So 2 danger, because each hit deals a danger. And then we have to draw a trauma card. Her danger is still in the minor trauma area. Insulated. Okay, so this is interesting. You may immediately perform a bonus attack. If you have the knockdown condition card, immediately stand up instead. So the book was saying something about chain break. When this happens, it causes a chain break, immediately ending the original attack and invalidating all of its lingering attack effects, as well as after attack effects. So if I go from the top down, we were doing the danger part. We had not gotten to the knockdown part yet. So I don't think the character was knocked down yet, and the rest of this card is done because our minor trauma card is giving us a bonus attack. So that seems pretty sweet. I think I'm interpreting that correctly. So our bonus attack, it's not even our round yet. Doesn't need to move, we're already adjacent. We'll just attack, so rage goes up to 3. Priority target, no, we're still at 4 up here, so we don't have to change that. Do our attack roll. Looking for 7s. We got a 9 and a 6. What the heck, let's up our fate to 3. This is very low odds, but I'm trying to get as many red dice here as possible. Yes, it's a 7. So that's 2 from that, and then our 1 that we get normally. We draw our BP card. Hand feet. So it's only a 3. This is level 2, that's only a 3. If we fail, wow, push back 1, gain 2, danger. We do not want to fail. Do not want to fail on this. Let's go down here. Only need 3 wound symbols. Okay, we got 2. Oh wait, because this is a bonus attack, we can ignore the responses. That's right. That's important to remember. With a rage of 3, Phylactera's going to get 1 red die reroll here. We do have 1 token in the pool if we get a little triangle, which we don't need because we got... So we actually end up with 4 because we got 2, 3, and then a triangle because of our Kratos pool token here. Gives us a 4. So what this means actually is this is a level 2 body part card. That's going in the wound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. We now need to go get a level 3 body part card, which we have not shuffled yet. Because you always go 1 higher. And I guess if it's a body part 3, you just replace it with a body part 3. I don't remember reading anything about that. So body part 3 is going in there. And it was a level 2, so we need to take a level 2 AI card, right? It's not the lowest one, it's the one that matches. That matches the level of the wounded card, yeah. So we take a level 2 AI card out, and we're going to put a level 3 AI card in. I'll shuffle these, the AI and the BP deck here in a second. That's an interesting rule on the bonus attacks. It's one little line in there that says you get to ignore responses. Okay, please, level 3, don't end up on top. Don't end up on top. There's only 3 cards in here because there's cards in the discard pile. Stop. Don't be on top. Oh, it's level 1. And this AI deck right now might not matter. If we can do 1 more wound, the thing is dead, and it dies immediately. Oh god, we ended up with the level 3 on top for the AI deck. Okay, that's the escalation part. Clear the Kratos pool. She has 3 rage, which means she can put 2 tokens in there. It's a level 1. Let's do 1 of each into the pool. That was the bonus attack from getting attacked. Now let's actually do our turn. Let's have this guy who did absolutely nothing try to do the last wound so far. No, that could be dumb. Let's do somebody who can actually put tokens into the pool in case we roll terribly, right? Herodotus, you're gonna go 1, 2, and attack. So up your rage. Declare using your fists and roll. We're looking for 7s. We've got 1 token that'll give us a +1. So we have a 7 and a 5. We will take a fate. So we go to 2 fate to reroll this one. Yes, so that's 2 7s. Because it's actually a 7 and an 8. Because of our token over here. Gives us 3 dice. We draw this BP card. 1 of 100. This is only a 1. This is going to be a 1 because of the thing, because this is a level 0 guy. So this is probably just going to end the fight. And we rolled 4. Okay, so that would go here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in the wound stack. And again, the health here is 6. We beat it. So I believe it says that you would just ignore any of the other responses. It dies immediately once you do that wound. I think that's what it said when I was reading it. When you deal the 6th wound or when all titans are dead, proceed to the battle aftermath. When you deal the 6th wound, you slay the primordial. It's important to note that you win as soon as you deal the killing blow. Any negative consequences of the BP card or any other effect that would trigger that round are ignored. You still get positive rewards like loot from critical wounds. Oh, okay. When the primordial is killed, all that is left is to clean up. So here's a little bit of story. As the dust falls, you remain standing. The hecaton does not. This was a hard-earned victory, but a victory nonetheless. For now, the Argo is safe and can continue on its journey, and you need some answers. As your souls slowly leave the Titans' bodies, you notice peculiar blades sticking out from the hecaton's side. You haven't noticed them before. Be it the reason the monster was weaker than expected? To whom do they belong? There's a box if you had been defeated, I guess if all your characters died. Gaining resources. Though the primordial pose an existential threat to the mortals, they're also valuable resources. The shipbreakers take what they need to keep the Argo going. Each battle nets you primordial resources from the wounds you have dealt. So you look at the upper right corner of the BP cards in the wound stack and gain those resources. Note the resources you gain in the cargo hold. Use a pencil. So it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 of this symbol and 1 of that symbol. So we're supposed to note those on our Argo sheet. It's 5 raw ambrosia and 1 muscle cluster. All right, where's my mechanical pencils? Probably under my keyboard. There is so much stuff out right now for this game. So much stuff everywhere. And I can't see one of my pencils. I'll have to note that stuff later, I guess. Did they fall on the floor? I don't know. This is what you call being prepared. For the future, though you won't need it now, one often forgotten rule is that you gain all the resources from wounds times the primordial level. Remember this well. Well, I'm glad we don't have to do that now because everything times 0 would be 0. Special reward, Siren Teeth. Sometimes a battle will reward you with something other than resources. An adventure, a Nemos node, technology, gear, it can be anything. This battle awards you with some much needed equipment. A pair of knives called Siren Teeth. Whenever the game instructs you to gain something, you either just take it and store it in a common pool, or note it on a corresponding sheet. I have all of the Cycle 1 cards out on the table. So we're looking for Siren Teeth. Where are you, Siren Teeth? Siren Shield, Siren Teeth. So I've got a bunch of level 1 cards up over there. This is the level 1 stack of gear card, or not level, cycle 1. This box came with 3 cycles. I don't know if they're separate campaigns or 3 parts of the same campaign. I'm not really sure. So Siren Teeth looks like 2-handed weapon. You get 3 dice, still plus 0, and still 1 red die for each hit. Opening 1 and reposition 2. Don't know what those mean. Suffering casualties. During the casualty step, you note any Titan losses on the Argo sheet. Note the number of Titans that survived. All of your Titans are Dreamwalkers, so just write that down along with their number anywhere in the Titan section of the Argo sheet. And I guess we know that because it says Dreamwalker right here. So I'm assuming there might be other types, I guess. Discard any conditions, condition tokens, or other tokens. There might be some conditions that have end of battle effects, or game elements have end of battle effects. Resolving the tides of fate. The Moirai, the sisters of fate, are fickle and like to toy with the lives of mortals. Primordial battles are the pinnacle of this cruel spectacle. There is a silver lining, though. Once the battle concludes, the tides of fate will recede, allowing you to breathe them much more easily. Once you've gained resources and noted casualties, you'll resolve the tides of fate. This usually means you get to reset your Triskelion values to 0s and lower Argo fate in cycle 1, usually by -2. At this point, you have no Argo fate value in your Argo sheet, so just write a 0 there instead. Normally at this point, you'd shuffle the exploration deck. However, you don't have it yet, so instead go to the campaign round 0 on the next page. There's a box here that talks about Titans and their classes, and Fate and Argo Fate. Okay, so that was a lot of talking, and I hope you got something out of that. Again, this video was to try to show my experience of playing my first time through the tutorial battle, learning to play based on what was given in this Learn to Play book. I will be doing the tutorial campaign stuff next. There are 6 campaign rounds, where they're introducing you to the other part of the game, where I'm guessing we're going to be able to use our resources and maybe get some more gear before we end up in the next fight. We ended up with, oopsie, 1 piece of gear here. It's possible I made some rules mistakes, but again, I was just trying to go based upon what I read in there and what I know of the game so far. If you saw something that I missed, please put in the comments down below. I'm going to try to get to the campaign within the next couple of days, so watch for that to come up shortly. Like I said, hope you enjoyed this, and like I usually say, I hope you enjoy everything I put up on the channel, and I will see you in the next one.